Hi everybody, thank you for joining us. I'm Rick from Anytime T-Shirts in Lesby, Maryland. And today we want to do a quick video on the print process. We've had a lot of questions from clients, what have you, all types of concerns or questions, but we just wanted to clarify some things for you. So we're going to do a video for the entire printing process from start to finish, and let's get started. Today we're doing a job for local business, Captain Smith Seafood in Lesby, Maryland. If you're in the Lesby area, I highly recommend it. Great stuff. And I also recommend the shrimp basket with the hush puppies. But what we're doing today is this right here is going to go on the back of the shirt. And then on the front of the shirt, we'll do the small left chest print minus the anchor. It'll keep the crab in there, and this will get, obviously squeezed together. But before we can do anything, in some cases the clients provide us with artwork. Other cases they don't, and we have to create it. In this particular case, we had to create the artwork. So this had to get pieced together. This takes time. Let me show you here. You start out with pieces of it. There's your crab. You have other parts of it. Your anchor. Add your text. Make sure all your colors are set properly. And once you get all this together, you still have to separate this artwork now in order to burn it onto the screens for the printing process. So the blue will get separated out of here into a separate file. The reds will get separated into a separate file. The white, and so on. Once that happens, then we can take each one of those colors and print it separately onto a piece of transparency paper, which then is burned onto a screen to make the screen for that color that's going to be printed. Every color has to be printed separately. So when we're doing a print job, we'll usually start from light to dark. We'll bring down the first screen. It'll be our white ink. We'll print the white ink. Then we'll bring down the next screen. In this case would be probably the red, and then the blue, and then print the black last. So it can be a bit of a process to get a shirt printed if you have a lot of colors. But so once this is all done and it's printed onto the transparencies, then we have to put it on a screen. Okay, so that involves burning the image onto a screen. And before we can do that, we have to prep our screens. So tonight what we're going to do is we're going to put what's called emulsion on the screens, and then that'll sit overnight and dry, so that tomorrow morning we can go ahead and take these transparencies that we're going to print out and burn those onto a screen and start the process. So let's head into the dark room and coat some screens. Okay, everybody, we're in the dark room now, which is basically a bathroom. But the lighting in here is a little low. What we're doing here, we're putting this emulsion on the screens. The emulsion itself is a light-sensitive material. Once light starts to hit it and the UV rays start to penetrate it, it will harden the emulsion. And if that happens before we want it to happen, then our screens will be no good to us. So we have to use we got a lamp up here that's got a light safe bulb in it, so we don't expose these screens at all. So take a look here. Here's our first screen that we're going to coat, 20 by 24 inch screen. This is our emulsion right here. It's in what's called a scoop coater, and we're just going to run that up the front of the screen, and then we're going to turn the screen over, and we're going to do it again on the other side. So let me see if I can position this here for you all. Okay, I hope that's good. So we're just going to take our scoop coater and we're going to place it at the bottom of the screen. We're going to tilt forward until the emulsion runs into the screen. And that takes care of our coat for one side of the screen. it over. This is a little harder, a little trickier, because you got to get down inside this. It's on the inside here. Get this scoop cutter down in there without spilling this emulsion all over the place. So it's just a quick move. And there you have it. That screen is now coated. Now it just needs to sit and dry and ready to be used tomorrow. Okay, so we got the emulsion on our screens. We only had to do 3 because we already had one. It's sitting over here that already has emulsion on it. It's dry. So now these 3 screens will sit here overnight. We got a fan running on them to help them dry. And that's it. We're done with coating our screens. Welcome back, everybody. It's the next day. We're getting ready to start this print job. Just printed out our transparencies. There you go. Everything's printed in black on all of them because you want, I mean, this is going to be our blue screen, but you want to print your transparency in black because when it goes on the screens and goes under the lamps to get burned, you want the black ink to stop the light from going through to that emulsion we put on the screens. So that's why you always do it in black, that way it blocks that light. Basically, when we put it out there on the lamps, what's going to happen is, well, like I just said, everywhere that this image is, it'll stop the light from going through, and that keeps the emulsion from hardening. Everywhere else, all the clear areas, the light will go through, and the emulsion is going to harden. And then when we take it off the exposure table, put it in the washout booth and hit it with the pressure, all this where the black is will wash out, and that'll give us our stencil in the screen. So let's head out there and burn some screens. Okay, this is our exposure table. You can buy an exposure table for about $4,000, but why would you want to spend that kind of money when you can make your own? Which is exactly what I did. So, hey, saved a bunch of money, and it works just as well. So, let's get this out of the way. And we take our screen. This is our black image, and we don't want to put light on that too long. I don't know how much UV rays come out of a camera phone flash, but I'm not going to take the chance. So, we place our screen down. This goes on top. You just put a little weight on top of it to mat it down. That keeps the black ink we were talking about tight against the screen so no light can travel around the image and harden those areas underneath the image. So let's fire that up. Alright, that's going to have to sit there for several minutes. So let's let that do its thing and we'll be right back. Okay, we're back. This has been on here for several minutes. Should be shut. There we go. Should be all complete. Okay, if you take notice, minus the glare, you can see our image showing up there in the screen. So we take this and flip it over. Okay, and with the transparency gone, you can see the image is still there. Our next move is to take this screen, bring it over here into our washout booth. And we're going to wet the screen on both sides. There you can see our image is starting to show up a little better. All right, we're gonna let that sit for about a minute or so, and we'll be right back. Okay, we're back. It's been sitting here. We're gonna go ahead and turn on our backlight. Take our pressure washer, and we're gonna blow this out. Done with that, we're going to hold this up to the lamp, take a good look at it, make sure we got everything out. Like we might have missed a little bit right there. That took it out of there. Bring it in a little closer. And there you can see we have our washed out image, and we're just about ready to go to press with it. So let's get this dried off, and we'll be back in a minute. All right, once our image is done out in the washout booth, we have to dry the screen completely before we can do anything else. There's two ways of doing that. One, we can just let it sit on a rack with a fan on it and come back in a hour or two, and it'll be all nice and dry. But we're trying to speed the process up this morning, so we use a hair dryer and dry it out. Gonna go ahead and finish drying this, and we'll be right back. All right, after we were done drying the screen off, we have to get it ready to go on press. You'll notice, you can see here, the emulsion we put on the screen stops right here, on both sides, and it's short on the ends also. So we have to close that off. Otherwise, ink's just going to go straight through there and get on your shirt, and we certainly don't want that. So what we do is we tape off the screens using our trusty screen tape here. And the tape's got to fit tight in the corner, so just kind of bend it over and stick it down in there, push it down in the corners so we have a nice tight fit, and stick it down. Keep in mind, everything I show you, I'm basically showing you one screen, but everything that we're doing here today, remember, this is a 4-color job. So everything you see me do, I'm doing 4 different times. And 4 colors isn't too bad. You start getting up into, 5, 6 or more colors, it can really take you quite some time to just get the job prepped before you even get a chance to start printing.
Alright, that takes care of it on that side of the screen. On the other side, well, what happens, I'll show you here, when you run the squeegee is pretty much almost the full length or width of the screen. And if you're not careful, you'll catch the edge of the squeegee on this tape and you'll rip the tape. And that can be a little disastrous because then, again, the ink goes right through and gets on your shirt. So, to protect us from that, we put an extra piece of tape just down the two sides. The top and the bottom don't matter because you're not running a squeegee past the top and the bottom. And that's it. The screen is all taped up. Now we just got to hold it up to the light, check at the pinholes. Bring you up here. Again, pinholes are something that are very important to find because just like the sides of the screen where the tape just went, if you have a pinhole, you're going to end up with ink coming through where you don't want it to come through. So this one's looking, oh, there's a pinhole right there. And you can see it, it's right above the eye there at the top. But we'll put a little piece of tape on that and keep on moving. We'll be right back. Okay, we got all our screens all taped up. Everything's looking good. A few pinholes on a couple of them. We've taped those off. The one we just did was that one right there. You can see a piece of tape on it covering up that pinhole. So next we need to put our screens up on the press, get them lined up, registered, and we're off to printing. All right, everybody, welcome back. We're on the press. We got our screens all up on the press, and everything's registered, lined up together, ready to go, and we're going to start printing some shirts. So let's get one on the pallet and start printing. It's important you get it on here straight and at the right height so your print shows up at the right spot on the shirt. And we're going to start printing with our lightest color first and move to our darker colors. This is our white ink. After each color, the table gets taken down to the flash dryer. Goes under the flash dryer for about 5 seconds or so. And that just gels the top of the ink. It doesn't cure the ink. It just gels it enough so we can print the next color without it disturbing the first color. This is our red. Alright, next is our blue. We're going to bring the camera in a little closer so you can see what it's like on the screen. Alright, there's all your ink, your stencil in the middle. You want to fill that stencil with ink and just run it across a couple times and prints it. All right. Alright, finally is our black ink. Black ink basically surrounds everything. And it kind of pulls your image together. And there you have your final print. Once you're done printing, shirt comes off, goes in the conveyor dryer. I'll show you too. We already printed the backs. There's the back of the shirt. Same colors, a little bit more in the design, but other than that, it's the same.
lay your shirt down in the conveyor dryer, and move on to the next shirt. We got about 60 shirts to print here. I'm not going to bore you with all those, but that's the printing process. It's a little bit of a process. You know, this is 4 colors. You know, 1 color shirts, boom, you're done quick and easy. 6 colors starts to take you a while, but basically that's it. Okay, well now that we're all done printing, delivered our shirts, customers are happy. You would think our job is done, but it's not. The screens that we used for the job we just printed, this was the red ink screen with a little crab on it. Well, this screen has to be cleaned off so it can be used again. So it's a process that we call reclaiming, and we're going to have to strip this emulsion off that we put on here. So when we clean the ink off inside, we use a chemical on there, and this has to go into a tank right now, a dip tank, which is right over here. And but we don't want to put it in there with those chemicals yet. We don't want to cross-contaminate with chemicals. What we use in here probably wouldn't hurt that too much, but I like to get it off of there just to make sure, or at least as much of it as I can. So we throw it in our washout booth and just spray off that chemical best we can. Helps us get off any other ink that we didn't get off in there when we were cleaning the ink off. Now our dip tank is supposed to be able to take the ink off there also, but I found this a whole lot easier to complete the process if you get rid of as much ink as possible before you put it in the dip tank. So, but we cleaned off the chemical there the best we can. We're ready to stick it in the dip tank. It's in there. It's going to take about 3-4 minutes for that to soak in there, and we'll pull it out and start spraying off that emulsion. We'll be right back. All right, we've been in there, or it's been in there for a few minutes now, so we should be good to go. When you take this out of the tank, you don't want to take it right into there because you got a lot of liquid chemical on the screen. So normally we'll take it out and we'll just prop it up here and let all the excess run off back into the tank, save as much of it as you can. But for the purposes of this video, I'm going to try to speed this up a little bit and see if we can just get it off there a little faster. Alright, that should do it. Okay, you know the emulsion from earlier we discussed was hardened by the exposure unit. So now the tank there basically has loosened that emulsion up and made it very soft, so it should come right off. Let's see. Always got to turn it around, hit the other side. make sure we get all the way off. Every last bit has to come off. All right, next we'll turn on our light. Hold the screen up. Make sure we don't see any red color at all. It's got a face full of water. All right, just a little bit over here. Okay, all cleaned off. Now when you clean these screens off, probably can't see it from the camera, but it leaves what's called a ghost image in the screen of the job you just did. It's basically ink residue from the squeegee, pushing it in there, you know, and the ink staining the screen. So we need to get rid of that too. So once it's cleaned off, take some dehazer. Just put a little bit of this on the screen. Doesn't take a ton of it. Take your scrub brush. Make it wet. Start scrubbing. Flip it over and scrub the other side. Okay, once you're done with that, we take this to the side, set it over there somewhere, and let it sit for approximately 5 minutes to let that dehazer work in there. And normally when you're doing this, while you're doing this, you have another one in the dip tank, or by this time, that one will be out of the dip tank, sitting up here dripping, getting the excess off, and the third one will be in the dip tank. And just keep rotating them like that until you get all your screens clean. 1 or 2 color job, not a big deal. Start doing 6 color jobs, becomes kind of a chore. We're only going to do the one screen, let it in there to sit. But anyways, that's going to sit for about 5 minutes, and we'll be back to finish up in just a second. Okay, welcome back. Our screen's been sitting in here for approximately 5 to 6 minutes or so. So ready to take this dehazer off there. So we need to pressure wash both sides of the screen, get it all off of there, get it nice and clean. once you're done with the pressure washer, there's still a lot of suds and chemical on there, so we need to get all that off of there too. So we're going to flood the screen with the garden hose here. All right, now that this screen's cleared off, all we gotta do is let it sit to dry, and that screen will be ready to be recoated with emulsion and start the process all over again. I hope this cleared up things for some people. We had a lot of questions about the process, ranging from the time period it takes to print shirts to the reasons for the minimum number of shirts to order, and pricing information. Hopefully these videos will answer some of those questions for you. If you still have some questions, feel free to contact us. You can go to our website, www.anytimetshirts.com. There's a contact form on there. You can ask us all the questions you want. If you're looking for a job, same website. There's also an estimate tab you can click on, and you can fill in a couple questions there. And if you have artwork for us that was created and it's ready to use, or if you just have a picture of something you want to have printed, there's an upload button on there. You can upload your artwork right to it and hit the send button, and we'll get back to you very quickly with an estimate and go from there. So thanks for watching. We're glad to have you here today. Hope you enjoyed these videos, and we hope to see you again soon. Have a good day. Bye-bye.